next game on our list that we're going to cover, it's the Los Angeles Rams at 3-6 traveling to New Orleans to take on the 3-7 Saints. The Rams are looking to avoid another loss that would make it actually 4 straight losses, their first 4-game losing streak since 2016. They're looking to avoid that. They're taking on the New Orleans Saints, who are favorites in this game by 3.5 points with a over-under of just 39. Matthew Stafford might be back for this game. He missed last week. It was John Wolford. Matthew Stafford dealing with a concussion. I feel like it's not so much about Matthew Stafford missing this game, but knowing the fact that Cooper Kupp will be missing this game. He's been placed on IR. Aaron, we talk about it all the time about this Rams team, how they need to develop more, not chemistry, but they need to get more pieces other than Cooper Kupp involved to help this offense grow. Well, now they're going to be forced to do that because Cooper Kupp's not there. Who do you expect to step up, and who really has to step up the most if the Rams want a shot at kind of steering this ship back on track? And obviously the playoffs, we've talked about it before. It's tough.
There is no steering the ship back on track. I don't think that's the motivation here. I don't think that's the mindset. Don't get me wrong. I know the team wants to, let's get it back on track. Maybe we can still make it. But the mindset to me, if I'm Sean McVay, is how do I improve this team going forward? Where are my young pieces that I can build from? Who am I looking? Now I'm evaluating who belongs on this team and who doesn't. I'm getting guys like Kyren Williams involved. I'm getting guys like Van Jefferson. Hey, are you something that I can use long-term coming back from that injury? Because I need to see more from you. Allen Robinson, we just paid you. Is this a 1-year situation with Allen Robinson? And you say, hey, man, maybe we need to look elsewhere for a wide receiver help because you're not cutting it. You can't get separation. This is what I'm doing now. I'm evaluating players and personnel at all levels, whether it's starting, backup, moving on from Cam Akers in the offseason. Why can't I think of his name? Who the hell is their running back?
Henderson?
See, that's
Darrell Henderson.
Darrell Henderson. I was just like, Darrell Henderson, are you going to cut it? Are you going to come back next year? I'm evaluating. I'm not thinking, hey, let's win a game and have a chance at the playoffs. I know they're not too far back. I know they're only a game or two out from the wild card position, but this team is done. This team is not going to the playoffs. They can't even win games with Cooper Kupp. They're not winning games without Cooper Kupp. Could they beat the Saints? Sure, maybe, but who cares? Matt Stafford got a bum elbow, got a concussion. He got to make sure he's healthy. I think this is about evaluating players and personnel and coaching staff and saying, look, we don't have much capital, draft capital in the next coming years. How are we going to retool this team to where next year we can be a competitor again, somebody that's a contender for another Super Bowl? I think that's it. I don't think it has to be much more than that. They are going to lose games. They are. They'll win some because they got Matt Stafford in there and they'll make some plays, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, whatever. But this is not some long-term, hey, we're going to win 5 in a row. We're going to get back in the playoff hunt. We're going to make a deep playoff run. This is not that. They do not have the Green Bay Packers or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers situation right now of a team that I feel can do that because they've been banged up in one spot all year. That is their Achilles heels. It's the offensive line, and they can't run the football on any level. They can't do it. So, and they haven't shown to be like Tampa where they can win games and be in an easy division and all that stuff. So I think this is just about evaluating talent.
And Tampa has that one guy. He's what's his name? Oh yeah, Tom Brady, the greatest
Rachaad White
of all time. Bingo, the greatest running back of all time, Rachaad White. But let's talk about the NFC South and how it could be wide open for the New Orleans Saints to come back. And they're not completely dead yet. There's a lot of teams that we talk about being completely dead. I don't know if the Saints are one of those. They could crawl back, but losing games 20-10 to the Pittsburgh Steelers make it hard to believe in that. AJ, how do the Saints make us believe? What do they have to do in this game to make us believe that they can come back in this?
I mean, they need to give Alvin Kamara the ball. I mean, you're right. The NFC South is wide open, and they're not dead in the water, but they haven't done themselves any favors on many accounts. I mean, only scoring 11.5 points in back-to-back losses at this point. They've lost 4 out of 5, and ironically enough, they're 11.5 points in back-to-back games. Kamara's getting 11.5 touches in the past 2 games. See a correlation here? Maybe if you give him 20 or 30 touches, who knows? Maybe you score 20 or 30 points. Alvin Kamara is going to be this offense when you don't have a Jarvis Landry all season, when you don't have a Michael Thomas all season, and when you can't decide whether or not Taysom Hill is your quarterback, running back, or tight end. They're not doing themselves any favors. To me, it baffles me because 2 weeks ago, this first place was up for grabs in this division, and you had a chance to go and get it. And it feels to me like the New Orleans Saints rode Andy Dalton off of a 24-0 win over the Las Vegas Raiders. And if you look at that team right now, doesn't really seem like that's the best formula to go off of. In that game, you went 22 for 30, 229, and 2 touchdowns. And they were 3-5 that week. At that point in time, the number one Falcons were 4-4. Since that point, Andy Dalton's got 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the past 2 weeks, and they still haven't decided whether or not, I guess for this week they decided, but if they're going to go back to Jameis Winston at all, who you're paying about $15 million to sit on your bench. I'm not sure if they really believe Andy Dalton is going to turn this around. I'm not sure if they believe he's the best fit to get Alvin Kamara the ball and make this a run-heavy offense, circus around your best player. But to me, in this situation, this is a must-win game for the Saints. You have a Los Angeles Rams team who's depleted, who's devoid of their best offensive weapon, who we haven't seen can run the ball, and that's the best way to beat the Saints as of late. It's going to be kind of tough for me to believe that the Rams can get this one done unless once again, the New Orleans Saints don't do themselves any favors. I think they will. I have the Saints winning this game 21-17.
Yeah. I don't know about the whole Andy Dalton situation. I think Jameis Winston's still hurt, to be honest. That's my opinion. And that's why they're kind of reluctant to bring him back. But they said he has a broken back. But I also agree. I think the Rams just in this one I think the Rams are toast. The Saints are probably toast too, to be honest. I don't think they have a chance to get back in it. But I'm going to go with the home team here, 23-16. Ugly game. I don't really know. I flipped a coin, picked the Saints just because I like their uniforms better. And Jameis Winston be eating them doves.
Hey, that's how my wife picks games by jerseys and how funny players' names are. So maybe that's
sometimes you just
how
honestly don't know. Like the Rams are playing so bad, the Saints are playing so bad. I honestly couldn't tell you which team is in a better situation right now. I don't know about the health of some players on the Rams, and maybe that's why I'm leaning towards the Saints. At least Andy Dalton's a veteran. They do have Alvin Kamara, who's going to be the best player on the field. Now, whether they get him the ball or not, who knows?
Yeah.
But they should. I don't know. I just think I like the weapons in New Orleans even better. That's sad because I'm telling you, I like Chris Olave better than I like Allen Robinson right now. And that's the ultimate indictment on the Rams, you guys, because I'm taking Chris Olave right now over Allen Robinson, and you guys know how I feel about Chris Olave.
I think it comes down to all the pieces that the Saints have, and obviously my score does not show much faith in any of these offenses. 18-13 Saints, but I think it comes down to the fact that the Saints do just have a little bit more weapons that have been more consistent this season than what the Rams have. You Alvin Kamara, throw in Taysom Hill, Jarvis Landry is going to be back in this game. Chris Olave. Juwan Johnson's been productive at the tight end position for the Saints. Andy Dalton has seemed to like him. And I just can't – I think that's like triple of what the Rams have in terms of productivity in their weapons that are not named Cooper Kupp. And if you have that on top of Matthew Stafford possibly being hurt, it's just a recipe for success. I think it's a low-scoring game, 18-13 Saints. Hold your nose on this one. It is going to be gross.